Hello and welcome to another Maintenance Right on Schedule tutorial. My name is David, and today we're going to be talking about how to manage the equipment on your boat in our system. Let's go ahead, jump right on in. From the dashboard, let's go ahead and select the equipment page over on the left-hand side menu. Now this is where you're going to see all the equipment that you have added to your boat. I'm going to go ahead and take a look at our port engine and go ahead and click View. Now this is the equipment details page. Up here at the top, this is going to be all the information that you gave us during the onboarding process. So the manufacturer, model number, if a date that you installed it was given, that'll show up here, a serial number as well. Now we'll try to include a publicly available owner's manual link, so you can check that out if you would like. And then down here at the bottom, there is all the maintenance tasks that is associated with this piece of equipment. By default, that's going to be sorted by next scheduled, but you could also change that to when you last interacted with the task as well. Now, I'm going to go ahead and view one of these tasks, and if you have watched our tasks tutorial video, this should hopefully look pretty familiar. If not, I'm going to recommend you go check that out so you can get more information on tasks and all the information that's available to you in this page. So for now, I'm going to go ahead and navigate back to my Volvo Penta page and scroll actually all the way to the bottom of the page so that we can talk about equipment metrics. I want to view the operating hours metrics that's associated with this engine. So let's go ahead and click on View. I really love this page because it shows you all the details for the metric associated with your equipment. Right up here at the top, it's going to show you all the current information, so the most recent metric value that you've given us, when it was updated, and the unit that the metric is measured in. Typically for most equipment on a boat, this is probably going to be hours. I do want to note, you can choose to update this metric. I've mentioned several times throughout our tutorial videos just how important it is to constantly update this metric, so you can even do that here if you would like. Down below, we've got a chart that is going to show you when metric values have been updated, and also we're going to show you the slope of the line that we're using to try to calculate when you're going to need to do tasks that are based on this metric value. We have this information is also available in a table view, so you can toggle this and see all this information in a different way. Like I said, I love this. Being a data nerd, this is my all kind of fun stuff to view. Now down at the bottom of this page, we have listed all the associated tasks that are, like I said, scheduled based on this metric value. So you can scroll through all these and again, see when they're scheduled and go in and view them individually this way as you like. All this stuff, we try to tie it together so things look very familiar, function in a lot of the same ways. Now let's go ahead and come back to the equipment details page. And I want to go ahead and talk about how you can edit. Oh, I'm going too far. Come all the way back up to the top of the page and how you can edit this piece of equipment. On this page, you can modify the basic information for the equipment: name, manufacturer, model. You can add the serial number if you didn't give that during the onboarding, as well as the date installed. But what I really want to touch on is this area down here, the danger zone. Say, for example, you sold this piece of equipment and you no longer need it. You can choose to delete it from your boat on MaintenanceROS. We do have a pop-up because when you do this, it's going to delete everything. All the historical information, all the tasks that are associated with that piece of equipment. I mean everything. So just be very sure that's what you want to do before you go ahead and delete the equipment. I'm going to go ahead and hit cancel because I would like to keep mine. And let's go ahead and return back to the equipment page for the last couple of topics. First thing I want to cover, and again, this should look pretty familiar, is over here on the right, the logbook. We've kind of taken the same concept from your dashboard and put it in here, just trying to make it as easy as possible for you to update the metrics wherever you are in MaintenanceROS. So quick example again, you can click on the icon here on the right hand side, go ahead, update the metric value, and hit plus to save. Pretty easy. Now the last topic that I want to touch on here for equipment is how to add equipment. Now the first time that you come to this page, the only thing you're going to see here is any equipment that you added during the onboarding process. If you've installed new equipment, or hopefully you're finding MaintenanceROS to be so helpful that you want to keep tracking more, You can do that by coming up here and selecting this Add Equipment button. This Add Equipment flow should hopefully also look pretty familiar, since it's the same one that you went through during the onboarding process. But just to jog your memory, let's do a quick example. Let's say I want to add a transducer to my boat. I know Airmar is a good transducer company. And let's say a P66 triducer hopefully will be a good example for this process. I can go ahead and select it, and it'll show me the library entry, the basics that we have in our database for this piece of equipment. It is a moderator verified listing, which means that one of MaintenanceROS's moderator has reviewed it and verified that it looks correct. So you should hopefully feel pretty confident that this will be a good piece of information for you when you add it to your boat. Still want you to go ahead and review that schedule just to make sure we haven't made any mistakes. We've got any moderator notes will show up here, link to a publicly available owner's manual, any metrics that are associated with it, and down here we've got the list of tasks. Now, I'm pretty sure these are correct tasks, so I'm going to go ahead and click Confirm, and then this time I'm actually going to adjust this schedule and customize it a little bit for my needs. If I scroll down here, you'll notice that there are 2 tasks for replacing the paddle wheel bearings, one for a high-speed boat and one for a low-speed boat. As much as I may wish, Port Story Horizons does not qualify as a high-speed boat, so I can come in here and delete this task for the high-speed boat that I won't need. Now again, if you want to go ahead and edit these tasks to maybe fit your schedule a bit better or to your practical use case, you can do that and hit this edit button. That'll launch you into our schedule builder, which is not the subject for this tutorial, but you can go check that out if you'd like any more information on that process. For now, I'm going to go ahead and hit finalize schedule down here. We need to go ahead and give this piece of equipment a name, so let's call it our transducer. And don't need a serial number or date installed. I can go ahead and add it to the boat. And we need to give the equipment a condition so we know when to first schedule the task. I'm not going to say this is brand new equipment because the boat's not brand new. I'll go ahead and say the equipment age is approximately 8 years and 5 months old. And I don't have an exact date for when the last tasks were completed, so let's go ahead and just kind of estimate and refine when those tasks were. This is again the slider functionality, so we'll give you when we think the last task should have been done, our estimate, and thus when we would schedule it next, and you can adjust that. So say it has been the month that since the last time the transducer was cleaned, yeah, makes sense to schedule today. But if I know that I scheduled it did it a couple weeks ago, move the slider here in the middle, and we'll schedule it an appropriate amount of time in the future. Now, if you do have an exact date that you'd like to come in and add, you can do this drop down, go ahead and change it, pop in the exact date. For now, I'm going to go ahead and just hit Add to Boat. With that all done, let's go ahead and come back to the equipment page, and we can scroll down here and see the transducer has been added to the boat. That's going to wrap up our overview on equipment in MaintenanceROS. Thank you very much for watching, and I look forward to seeing you in another tutorial video very soon.